Hello and welcome. My name is Angelique, and today I'm going to talk about the astrology placement Venus in Libra. This talk is going to be focused on pleasure because that is the planet in astrology, what it really can represent in a natal chart in us as people. So, anything connected to pleasure, usually that's love or money or beauty. So we're going to be talking about all of those through the lens of Venus and Libra. If it's your first time listening to me, I've been a student of astrology for over 30 years with a background in counseling, psychology, and mental health. So I love to dive deep, love to really figure out what's going on underneath our patterns, our behaviors, how we interact with our environment, even down to our jobs, how we make money. So astrology is a great tool, not only for prediction, but for understanding ourselves, our relationships, all that good stuff. So I'm going to start a little bit with mythology because I like to use that to help understand this placement and understand ourselves. So Venus overall was the goddess of love and beauty, but peace and harmony. She loved a life of ease and comfort and harmony, which meant minimal to no conflict, didn't like to do a lot of physical labor or anything herself that was very uncomfortable. She would rather have other people do it. So she liked to have her body and her aesthetics as beautiful and attractive. And this was also, she could attract those good things in her life. She took care of herself, her body, her aesthetics, how she interacted with people. And that would draw people into her passively. Instead of taking things by force, she did things that would make people want to support her financially or be in a relationship with her or love her or admire her. And so in a personal chart, this is what that brings up. What we want to do to feel loved, to feel beautiful, to acquire money and security. And so Venus in the sign of Libra is its natural placement. It's called it's in domicile. And that's because Venus rules Libra. Venus also rules Taurus, but ruling of Libra is going to be like you're really ruling, like there's a certain half to Venus here. So Venus has a more security, sensory focused energy to it, which is going to be more of Taurus. Whereas Libra, when we're talking about the rulership with Venus, Libra is going to be expressed more so through charm and social endeavors, through partnership, especially romantic partnership. But that's not to say the sense and visual security and needs aren't there with Libra. It's just that it's maybe not as important or not something that is focused on as much when we have this placement. So we're having a double dose of kind of this energy, the Venusian energy that likes to be social and harmonious with other people, likes to have partnership. That's going to be very strongly felt by the people with this placement. But it can also make someone who's very, very, very passive when it comes to romantic relationships. Because, as I mentioned before, by nature, Venus has more of that typical yin feminine energy, which is more passive and more receptive. It doesn't mean that these people don't like to get things done and they don't like to take action. It's just the way that it's going is going to be more passive, more slow, more inward, um, more of a passing of time when you have a more masculine or fire energy, which is not in this placement at all. All of that energy is very feminine and slow and receptive. Things are not going to want to be taken by force. There's not going to be a need or want to do things very directly. So this is where we get passive, and sometimes passive aggression can show up if not monitored for people who have this placement. So they might be the people that want a love relationship, but they are maybe not going to ask someone out directly. Instead, they might wait and just be charming and social and really wait for someone else to be attracted to them, to ask them to do things. Which, as you can imagine, is good sometimes, but sometimes not great because we need a balance of these energies. We need yin and yang, and we can't be so passive all the time about the things we want, because that means we're not going to get everything we want. Sometimes we need to be a little more direct, especially when it comes to other people, which Libra loves being around other people, especially in one-on-one situations. So not just romantic partners, but friendships, family. They really like having another person to talk with, to go back and forth. These are people who are maybe partnered up for most of their life, or that's something they're always striving for. But because these people who have Venus and Libra have such a natural charm to them and a natural great way to make their appearance and their aesthetic very pleasing, they might not be people who are single for very long, because they can attract other people really easily just with their charm and their social grace and a very pleasant manner. A lot of people love being around people that are pleasant. It feels comfortable to a lot of people. So the elements that we have here in this placement is we have air, and earth. So all of these elements together, we get someone who might really love surface level social friendliness interactions, or any interactions or money that comes from a practical, secure place, but that really action oriented need to change things, to initiate any kind of relationships or solve problems, can be harder felt with this placement, because they're missing water and they're missing fire. And these elements, when they're missing, means that people might have a harder time going deep. Deep emotional reflection is not beautiful. It's not cute. It's not comfortable. And Venus wants to be comfortable at all costs. So there runs the risk of relationships being more superficial. And they might be longer time committed because there's Venus energy very prominent here. So they want to commit and feel secure in a loving relationship. But if a relationship needs them to go deeper, to do get messier emotions or conflict, this is not a placement that likes that. And so because of the heavy air energy here, you might find that someone is avoiding conflict a lot. So that's when that passive or passive aggressive energy can come out. There's nothing really tethering air. And when there's so much air here, it's just going to go around things. So it doesn't want to stay somewhere too long, but it also doesn't want to be direct. It doesn't want to be forceful. And a little bit of the earth quality with the Venus is going to make someone that has this placement, they are maybe going to stand firm in how they want to attract and maintain love and money and beauty. So there's a slight rigidity here, and but mostly how they're going to do things. This can also make someone that maybe has tendencies to people please, or to just say yes a lot and not put up boundaries, because when you say no, And when you put up boundaries, you run the risk of conflict. You run the risk of someone getting mad or disrupting the harmony of the relationship or the work environment. So these are people that can struggle with that. But it's a great placement for, as I said before, like attracting love, attracting money and beauty, because this is something that is going to come very natural to the people who have this placement. So overall, a love for someone with Venus and Libra are going to be attracted to someone that's maybe a little more charming, a little more graceful, or they are just able to have and carry conversations with each other that are more in a light, flirty, or fun manner. Even better if someone has the same kind of aesthetic or interest in art or music, or they just have things that line up in any realm that's creative. So if you like the same music, you like the same type of artwork, you like the same decor for your home, these are things that are going to be more attractive to Libra. And it's going to be superficial in that way, although some of it is going to be about the appearance. But that can even just come down to a person that has a very charming, peaceful, or harmonious aura about them could be attracted. So definitely a mental attraction is going to be strong and keep a relationship longer. So someone that likes going out with them a lot or doing activities together, hobbies together. This might be a placement where the people in a relationship are more connected intellectually, and the physical attributes or anything else might not hold as equal weight or might not matter as much. So the attraction that's going to keep Venus and Libra long term and committed is that intellectual component. Is there flirting? Is it, do they go on dates and they talk to each other and they talk about each other to other people? Is it a very open relationship where they're talking about the relationships to other people and to each other? Venus and Libra might have a hard time with someone who doesn't like to talk a lot or doesn't like to have lighter, fun conversation. So either if someone is overly serious in their communication style, or they're just very quiet and they don't like to go out and they're very much a homebody, but a homebody that doesn't really like to talk. So Venus and Libra might honestly be okay with a partnership where they're at home a lot, but do they like to do things together when they're at home is going to be the kind of difference. So it might be harder if they're in a relationship with someone who is maybe out all the time without them, or they're at home and they're focused on all these other things and not really spending time with each other. So that's going to be a difference. So beauty with Venus and Libra is going to take on a similar flair. There's going to be more energy or talking that they need to find more beautiful or harmonious. So a working environment might need to be more peaceful. There might need to be more light, enjoyable interactions with their coworkers, because Venus and Libra are people who might come off very pleasing. But if they're in an environment where people aren't supportive of each other, or coworkers very tense, or there's a hostile energy, and nobody's like wanting to talk to anybody, or everybody wants to be left alone, that can be hard for them. So they might enjoy an environment where it's more of a team interaction, where they get to interact with clients in a lighter aspect. So thinking sales or customer service. but their home needs to be very harmonious and pleasant. And if it's not, that can be very upsetting to them. So they might really enjoy having animals in the home, having decor in a way that's very pleasing to them. Libra is rules the sense of touch. So the home needs to feel good. The furniture, blankets, anything that they come in contact with and they touch in the home. So these are people that might do a lot of work in their home to get it a certain way. So it just feels really good to them. And other people, they might physically find people attractive that have a very beautiful and pleasing appearance and face and anything that they're taking care of. So they want someone who maybe has a very symmetrical face, or what they're wearing is very pleasing to the eye. They might be really attracted to people who are artistic in some way, or they just have are connected visually to how they look and are wearing clothes and makeup and their hair in a way that is mindful, that's charming, that's beautiful. In typical Venus mythology fashion, people with this placement might find someone beautiful that has more long, flowy, or curly hair, or they just have like softer brown hair. Maybe they have curves and they're more pronounced, or just like a softer quality to their skin, to their clothing. And the same is going to be applied for the Venus and Libra person. They are going to really want themselves to come off as pleasing as possible. So they might spend a lot of time on their hair, on their face, on their clothing, anything that they can touch, especially on their person. They might want it to be as manicured and polished and beautiful in the way they find beautiful and pleasing. But them themselves might have brown hair, or just have hair that is manicured and kempt. So even if it's not long and flowing and curly, maybe it's very well maintained. Maybe the products that they use are high quality, right? So Venus and Libra people are going to feel very at peace when they have the products that make them feel good, that are maybe higher quality, and that their appearance is manicured to perfection for them. The right clothes. These are all going to make a difference on whether they feel comfortable or not. When it comes to money, this is a great placement for attracting money and keeping money, because Venus and Libra does love to be secure. But the way they are going to get money is not going to be in a direct, forceful way. They are better adept at just doing jobs in a high quality, um, well done manner that attracts things to them. So these might be people who are just doing such a high quality job that they get a promotion out of nowhere, or they're attracting a lot of clients because they're an interior designer and they do such great work that they can charge more, or people find them. So there's going to be a more manifesting energy that comes with this placement. So not going out so much and trying to wrangle clients and doing high pressured sales. That's not going to be super comfortable for them. They are going to be the people who are going to win over clients and jobs with their charm, or their way to just create balance, because they love feeling balanced. So these are people that might do really well in any kind of visual art medium, sculpting. Uh, these people can do really well with music or modeling, any type of client-based work. So, as I said before, retail, customer service, anything where you're having to do a job that requires charm or understanding someone else and that kind of back and forth nature, or anything in the realm of law, because Libra is a very justice focused sign and they want harmony and balance. They are action oriented though. So anything where they can help people get justice to bring balance or harmony. So this could even be not just law, but this could be politics. This could even be working in fields of aesthetics, like hair or skin, plastic surgery. So these are, it can go anywhere you're bringing balance to people or you're being harmonious and pleasant in a way that makes people feel good, can really shine and get money in that way. All right. Thank you so much, Venus and Libra. If you have this placement and you'd like to share how it comes up for you, you can leave a comment. Otherwise, thank you so much again and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.